Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Intuitive Angling, and really appreciate you guys swinging by the channel to check out today's video and spend some time with me today. Guys, today we're going to be talking about what's going to be happening in January 2025 you need to get ready for. Got some opinions on this, going to share with you guys, and I think you might find it interesting in today's episode. And also guys, for get started, just a quick invitation. If you haven't had a chance, just like to invite everybody to please hit that subscribe button here at Intuitive Angling. Right now, guys, we only got like 35% of the people that watch the videos are actually subscribed, and 65% of the people that watch the videos are not subscribed. So it's a good way to help by hitting that subscribe button. And also, guys, winter's around the corner. Just want to invite you to swing by fishthemoment.com and check out my winter lake map breakdowns that I build for Fish the Moment. Good resources to find you some good winter spots on all your favorite lakes across the country. So I'll put the link in the description of the video here if you want to check that out. Really appreciate it. Okay guys, what is going to happen in January 2025? It is a new season, fresh beginning for everybody in terms of bass fishing. Have a chance to have your best year ever. And what I want to do in today's video is I want to outline 3 different techniques that I want you to try in 2025 that can really help your success if you've never done it before, and just sort of incorporating it into your arsenal of fishing. Now, first of all, one of the things that I'd like to invite you to do in 2025 is to resist the urge to get sucked into the technology of forward-facing sonar. You guys hear me talking about this. I don't want to keep harping on it, but I can assure you guys, if you get back to real bass fishing where seasonal patterns and movements and habits, and you have to fish traditional bass fishing techniques, your experience in fishing is going to be so much more rewarding than staring down at that, that spotlighting screen. So I encourage everybody out there to dial it back, resist technology, tell it to go take a hike, and get back to what fishing is really meant to be. So anyway, guys, here's 3 techniques I really want you guys to incorporate in your arsenal as far as moving forward this year. First of all, learn to fish a finesse jerkbait. A lot of people get locked into traditional jerk baits like the 4.5 inch size, like the Megabass Vision 110, which is a good bait. But one of the things that's really going to help you out this year is to downsize to those small finesse jerk baits. There's a lot of different ones on the market. I would recommend that Megabass X Nanahan. Put it on 6-pound test line. And guys, what happens is as our bass get more conditioned and they get more fishing pressure, which happens year after year after year, I've noticed an incredible shift in the bass that they prefer smaller jerk baits, anywhere between like November and April. And I've noticed this trend over about the past 5 years, and it's really came into play the last couple of years. So one of the things you can do is get you a spinning rod, put 6-pound test fluorocarbon on it, and go and try some of those little finesse jerk baits that are like 3 inches long. You get some of the ones with the deeper lips, like those X Nanahan plus ones. They still get down to 7 to 10 feet deep on 6-pound line, and the fish will really react to them. And once you get comfortable fishing that little finesse jerkbait, your jerkbait success is going to go way through the roof. And another thing about the little jerkbaits, guys, is don't overwork it. You don't want to use that jerk pause hard. Get it down deep and just like barely move it and shake it. And that's how those bass will really react under those scenarios with that. The next thing that you really need to master or incorporate into your fishing techniques for coming up next year is the old school pitching and flipping. Now, this has come by the wayside. There's a lot of people out there that simply don't pitch and flip anymore. It's like we've got so many different techniques that have, evolved over the past 15 or 20 years that the old school pitching and flipping, you don't hear anything about it anymore. Back from the 80s into the early 90s, that was a staple for winning all different type of tournaments. But ever since we've got so many different lure categories, we got chatterbaits, we got swim jigs, we got, Alabama rigs and all the high-tech swim baits. Just the old school flipping and pitching is sort of got left behind. So there's 2 baits that you really need to master as far as the flipping and pitching goes. Number 1 is some type of a creature bait, like a beaver or like a Z-hog, and the other one is a full-size jig. Now, those 2 are the prime pitching and flipping baits as far as catching quality fish and numbers of fish. Just getting back to the old school full-size jig with, like a large trailer on it, like, my Blaukat throwback jig with like a Zoom big salty chunk, full size, you know, either beaver or Z hog, you know, try to stay like sort of in that 3/8 to, you know, maybe ½ ounce weight there, and just start picking apart shallow cover that gets overlooked a lot. It's like, you know, learn to pitch and flip around lay down trees, lay down logs, you know, some type of, you know, boat dock cover, shallow grass, whatever your lake has. And guys, there's a population of fish out there that have really not gotten a lot of pressure in the advent of all the forward-facing sonar and other type of deals out there. It's like, I don't hardly see anybody doing it. And one of the things about it is, like, you know, another thing that's going to really help you out in 2025 is really work on your, you know, on your ability to put that bait where you want to, pitching and flipping. Pitching and flipping, one of the biggest, you know, elements of success or not having success in it is the ability to put that bait where you want it. And we have sort of lost we're losing right now sort of our ability to have some type of an art form in fishing in terms of casting. Most people are now just casting out in open water, and being able to put that lure right you want in that tight target is a really big thing. So the little finesse jerk baits, and back to the pitching and flipping. The other one that you need to really, you know, focus on this year, coming up in 2025, is finesse cranking. Now, this goes along again with like the finesse jerk baits in terms of fish getting more conditioned to, you know, fishing pressure and all that type of stuff. If you go to finesse cranking, you're gonna get twice as many bites. You're gonna still catch your quality fish, and it's gonna enable you to basically still be competitive and still be successful under highly pressured fishing situations. Now, when I'm talking about finesse cranking, I'm talking about crankbaits that are like 1.5 inches or 2 inches long, like that Megabass Super Z2 that I talk about a lot. You know, even there's a lot of new ones, guys. A lot of different companies out there make those little bitty finesse crankbaits, and it's almost like the crankbaits, the little bitty ones, like the ones that are like 1 inch long, that are sort of designed for white bass or crappie. Those are excellent fish catchers, especially during the summer months of the year. So I can tell you guys one way to really have a lot of success this summer and next fall when the fishing gets really tough is get you some of those little finesse crankbaits that are no more than 1.5 inches long, put them on a spinning rod with 6 to 8 pound test line, and start fishing them around some off-colored water, around shallow cover, rocks, wood, whatever cover the lake you have. And guys, good ones will hit it. I mean, especially when that water's warm, like in July, August, and September. That's one of my favorite ways to catch them. So those are 3 things that I really, really want to encourage you to do in 2025 is get good with the finesse jerkbait, get good with the traditional forgotten pitching and flipping, and go to those little finesse crankbaits. Those are 3 of my wheelhouses. Those are 3 techniques that I rely upon a lot of the year. And guys, I was able to qualify for both championships in the circuits that I fished this year with no live scope whatsoever. And those 3 techniques, the pitching and flipping, finesse jerkbait, and finesse cranking, were the techniques that carried me and enabled me to compete against some of the other high-tech anglers. So anyway, guys, hope it helps out, and best of luck coming up this year. I hope you guys join me for a lot of videos over 2025, and we'll talk later.